Hi, I'm Gemma Wallace, and you're listening to Rocking at the Movies with Shane Comley-White.
And I also understand that you're doing sword fighting training or fencing training. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's funny because that's what I actually started in. So I first started in training in the BADC standard. So it's I have to remember now. It's the rapier, dagger, and unarmed. So it was like an intensive course and learning all three of those weapons and doing a performance at the end of it and then getting graded on it. And once I got involved in that, I was like, yeah, I like this. I feel
Fun.
badass. So yeah, since then I've kind of dabbled in a few weapons, a lot of unarmed to be fair, but hopefully next year and possibly in one of the projects that I'll have coming up early next year, fingers crossed, we're going to be a lot of doing a bit more sword work. So I'm going to develop a bit more on that, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that side of it is crazy. There's so much you can do. You just, well, I personally didn't realize. I was like, yes, I need to get more involved in that. And as you say, dabble in a bit of everything, hopefully. And
Well, that's the thing. You can never. Well, personally, I love my weapons. I've got when we train with 10 different kinds of weapons, starting off with things like long staff, going to the size like an Electra. I don't know if you know those as devil fork kind of things. And
oh yes, yeah, I do.
love
Yeah.
those. And then we also finally end off in the samurai sword. And that's my ultimate weapon. And I was privileged enough to be able to speak to, I don't know if you know, you might be too young, the Highlander movies or TV series.
Yes, yeah.
Do you know of Adrian Paul? He's the one from the
terrible
TV
name.
series.
TV series. Oh no, I'm actually not familiar with these.
No,
That's
you must
bad
go
of
watch
me.
that. No, go have a look, because the reason why I'm mentioning
Okay.
it is he runs a whole bunch of things called the Sword Experience, where he teaches individuals how to do screenplay sword fighting. You know,
Oh,
so you could
cool.
also benefit from that. And he's one of those guys that you need to learn from. He's not a joke. He's
Yeah.
brilliant. You know, so I'll put you in contact with him maybe one day down the line.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I also noticed in some of your Instagram images and training that you do firearm training and weapon transition training. What is that like from your point of view?
I love that side of it. So yeah, so one of the companies I train with in London, independent drama, they do all sorts. That's where I found the standards, the BADC, and yeah, they had kind of like a day of just going through like the civilian and law enforcement, and then there was more of like a military and tactical.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know if I like it, so I was like, I'll just dabble in it, have a little go. And we had the opportunity to obviously fire a couple of blanks and just doing the drills and things like that. And I literally just got obsessed with it. Like, I just loved it. Just everything about it, whether it's just more, a handgun or if it's more military and working within a team. And I just got obsessed with it. So, so now, whenever I can, I'm like, yeah, I'll do a bit of firearms. I'll get in there. And yeah, it's really helped actually, because it kind of got me the opportunity of being in it was background work, but we were like the assassins, the kind of assassin girls in Hannah on Prime. And they were like, oh, does anyone have firearms experience? And a few of us are like, yes, me. And we got to like dismantle a gun and, clean it and put it back together. I was like, I know how to do this. I can do this. Cool. And then they're like, do it without looking. It's like, yeah, I can do it without looking. So, I just kind of get obsessed with it. But
that's great.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
Have you actually shot real rounds or not yet?
Well, not properly. I used to do a lot of stuff when I was younger, like with the Scouts. There was never a proper kind of live round. I used to think it was, being a kid, and I'm like, yeah, it's real bullets, but obviously it's not.
Yeah, safety reasons.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was, but we tried to in America, but unfortunately couldn't when I was there. But there is a cool course that I would love to go on, because they do a lot of live rounds, because I feel like it's such a different experience of
it is,
actually feeling the live round. I'm just so used to trying to portray it, but
bang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or try not to blink. You like to blink, get the little bits going back here.
One of the hardest things to do. I've done the training, the firearm training, and I was privileged enough to get a government grant here in South Africa to become a VIP security officer. And
Cool.
it was a challenging job. So I did that for some time, a number of years, in 2010. But the thing that I loved about it was the training. When you go to the shooting, you do the draw drills, you do the close shooting on the target or on around barrels and in and out of cars and all that kind of stuff. It was absolutely amazing, you know. And
That's
one
so
thing that
cool. Still do it?
I haven't for a long time, but just because of, especially with the whole COVID thing, we all locked down and all that. But I'm still qualified, but I need to go and practice a little bit more, I suppose. You always need to keep up your practice. So if you ever do start, don't stop. That's
Oh, definitely. It's so easy to kind of just forget simple things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the fine little details that you need to keep working on just to make sure that you are in tune with the weapons that you're using. Whether it be the 9mm or the 45s or even the like shotguns and rifles and all that stuff. It's really difficult to remember every single weapon correctly. Anyone can point and shoot, but can you do it properly? That's a trick, you know.
100%. That's something I need to get better with.
It takes time, and you're still young. You got lots of time ahead of you, so you must just enjoy it as much as you can, you know.